But I will say that Ryan Coogler needs to firmly address that he was inspired by a Latin American vampire movie because we are owed our flowers. Also, Ryan, I saw that tamale story you put in the movie. Where's the Latino extras? Come on, Ryan, you're so good at putting Latinos in your movie. What the f happened here? You don't put Latinos in the movie, and you steal from the biggest Latino vampire movie? Come on, man, that's a bad look.
I don't think this guy liked this movie at all. I think he might be a racist.
You said it, not us. Quick Google search, quick history fact check will probably do you a little good. You're just making a lot of noise, not making a lot of sense. You're basically just sticking your own foot in your mouth. You can't put videos out like this and then turn your comments off. Education is free, respectfully, of course.
Talking about they want representation in black art, black movies, when they don't even give representation to the black people in their own community. Look at Telemundo, Univision. Look at all the Robert Rodriguez movies. Where is the Afro-Latino or Afro-Mexican representation in those movies? They don't even give black people in their own communities representation. But yet they complaining about representation in black movies and black American art.
What the hell is wrong with Latinos? What the hell is wrong with us as a whole? Like seriously, we need to start talking about this. It first started with over half of us, 60% to be exact, voting for the orange tyrant, voting against our own people, our own interests, and we're seeing how that is playing out. You know what? We're not going there. Then the Latinos had the caucasity to go on Beyonce's internet attacking black people for not rioting in the streets like they were doing during the Black Lives Matter movement on our behalf, when it was the consequences of our own actions that got us here in the first place. Like, how are the caucasity? Like seriously, that is caucasousness. And to add insult to injury, there are Latinos going on Beyonce's internet attacking Sinners, Ryan Coogler's masterpiece, because there wasn't Latino representation. First of all, don't come for Ryan Coogler, okay? Because while Latino people are just bending the knee and kissing and licking boots just to get invited into the room, let alone a seat at the table, Ryan Coogler was like, F that table, I'm gonna make my own table.
But I just want to let you guys know that when black people make something, they make a film or a TV show, and Latinos come out and say, well, what about when will Latinos get a turn? When will Latinos get a turn? That it's inherently racist, and especially because it plays into the erasure of Afro-Latinos. Black Latinos do exist. They really do. And most of us only find our representation in black films.
Hey my people, Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that from wherever you, my lovelies, are watching this from, you're doing all right and God has protected you and preserved you very well. I do appreciate all of you that keep supporting, and of course, thank you so very much to you guys that give me super thanks and super chats. I do appreciate them. Yes, and a big shout out to my members. You guys do me amazing. Amazing. Thank you so very much for being part of this team. Yes, as always, we have another interesting episode in the house to look at. The movie Sinners aired about 7 days ago, right? And of course, it got a lot of people talking. There are those that liked it, others didn't like it, others called it demonic, and more others, just decided to be like, this was it. It was really, really a good movie, right? But we have another group of people. 60% of them voted for Donald Trump. And they are coming on the internet crying that they were not represented in this movie. And they are coming to blame black people for not sharing a platform to showcase their culture and themselves. Wow. Trying to take her away from the authenticity of black culture or of black excellence because they feel entitled to have a seat on this table. Because how dare you, Blackie? Men, oh men, oh men. But the interesting thing is one of their own came representing and airing his, views about this and how he's upset how black people are not allowing them or did not represent them in the movie. And both black people and his people called him out. They called the BS out and clapped back and really roasted him really well, which is really good because some people need to be put in their place. We have to look at his video, the responses and the roast that he got. We'll come back and talk about it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're landing on here for your very first time. Let me know what do you think about this.
I love the movie Sinners, but ... Part 1. There will be spoilers. I love the movie Sinners, but it's literally the plot of From Dusk Till Dawn. Two criminal brothers head down south to start new lives. While down south, they are trapped in a building that's in the middle of nowhere and they find themselves surrounded by vampires. One of the brothers is seduced by a beautiful vampire temptress and gets turned into a vampire. The other brother, who's a straight shooter, leads a group of survivors to survive the night until dawn. And throughout the movie, we have discussions about religion, faith, and family. In the final climactic battle of this movie, there's a huge fight between the survivors and the vampires. The Asian character in this movie sacrifices himself to protect their family. One of the characters in this movie who was turned begs their loved one to end their life, and with tears in their eyes, they do. And after killing all the vampires via sunlight, the only two survivors are the brother and the hopeful youth. The hopeful youth whose father was a preacher. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here because I follow people in the horror community. No one's talking about this. It's insane. There is one fucking movie that Sinners owes everything to, and it's not fucking Puss in Boots. It's goddamn From Dusk Till Dawn. And like, I'm not saying Nosferatu, Dracula, Sinners, From Dusk Till Dawn, but I will say that Ryan Coogler needs to firmly address that he was inspired by a Latin American vampire movie because we are owed our flowers. Also, Ryan, I saw that tamale story you put in the movie. Where's the fucking Latino extras? Come on, Ryan, you're so good at putting Latinos in your movie. What the fuck happened here? You don't put Latinos in the movie, and you steal from the biggest Latino vampire movie? Come on, man, that's a bad look.
I don't think this guy liked this movie at all. I think he might be a racist.
Loving something does not excuse you turning a blind eye to its flaws. Acknowledging and discussing the flaws of something you love is healthy and leads to a better relationship. Hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to be talking about how the vampires in the movie Sinners don't make any fucking sense. Have a magical day, everyone.
I'm gonna take a sip of my morning coffee before I say what I'm about to say. You know what? Who cares? What the hell is wrong with Latinos? What the hell is wrong with us as a whole? Like, seriously, we need to start talking about this. It first started with over half of us, 60% to be exact, voting for the orange tyrant, voting against our own people, our own interests, and we're seeing how that is playing out. You know what? We're not going there. Then the Latinos had the caucasity to go on Beyonce's internet, attacking Black people for not rioting in the streets like they were doing during the Black Lives Matter movement on our behalf, when it was the consequences of our own actions that got us here in the first place. Like, how are the caucasity? Like, seriously, that is caucasousness. And to add insult to injury, there are Latinos going on Beyonce's internet, attacking Sinners, Ryan Coogler's masterpiece, because there wasn't Latino representation. First of all, don't come for Ryan Coogler, okay? Because while Latino people are just bending the knee and kissing and licking boots just to get invited into the room, let alone a seat at the table, Ryan Coogler was like, F that table, I'm gonna make my own table. Beyonce was like, F that table, I'm gonna make my own table. And they now are inviting their own people to these tables for these opportunities. And you have the caucasity, because that's what it is. Y'all acting like the white people that they want to be so damn bad to be accepted by so damn bad because there's not Latino representation. Y'all are confusing representation with the showcase that was Sinners, the history lesson that was Sinners. Like, it's not the same. What makes me so sad is, when did Latino people become like this? When did the orgullo, the pride, dissipate into thin air? Like, when are we so accepting of bare minimum, a little cameo in the movie, or just like invited to their spaces that they don't even want us in? Like, when did, like, we need to have a talk. We are not okay as Latino people. As a Black Mexican American, okay, so I'm both. Can Black people just not have their moment? Can Black people just not have all the flowers that they're given right now? Because make no mistake, what is happening amongst Hollywood in the entertainment industry in regards to Black people bulldozing these doors open and creating their own lanes and creating their own spaces. It's beautiful. It is, man, I'm getting goosebumps because I am so damn proud to be Black. You know, I'm so damn proud to be the other, you know, like and then you have Latino people coming in here trying to ride on the coattails. It's like, create your own damn freaking lane. Some Dusty on TikTok want to compare Sinners to From Dusk Till Dawn, which, make no mistake, From Dusk Till Dawn is an iconic movie. One of the baddest women to ever grace the earth was in that movie, Miss Salma Hayek, who created a scene that is so iconic, and I understand that, but how can you compare the two? I'm not getting the correlations, because From Dusk Till Dawn was representation. You just had Latino people in there, but there was no history lesson. There was no displaying our culture so beautifully like Sinners was. You know what I mean? It's like, when did we get like this? Why are we all of a sudden like this in droves? Because like I said, it wasn't even half. It's not half and half. It was over half of us. You know, it all started with the election that kind of put it on display, right? But my gaster is flabbered. I just don't know what to say anymore. I don't know how we got like this, and we need to stop. We need to freaking stop and get out of the way, because this is Black creators, Black directors, Black musicians' time to shine. You know, Black actors. Like, this is their moment. We don't need to try again to attach ourselves and hoping that they, you know, maybe create a lane for. No, we can do that for ourselves. We can do that for ourselves, and we have been. Why are Latino people acting like we're not creating spaces and, you know, creating our own lanes? And there's so many Latinos in the entertainment industry that are doing this for us as well. Like, I don't get it. Now I'm gonna have my sip of coffee because I'm done. I'm shook.
So I like how there's a set group of Hispanic folk getting mad at Sinners for not having Hispanic representation. Talking about where's the Hispanic folk? Everybody else under the sun is there, but not Hispanic people. I have one question for those of you who are sitting here hating on this movie because of that. Where in any piece of history has there ever been Hispanic people in Mississippi in the 1930s? Oh wait. If any one of you that's hating on this movie could tell me that, I'll shut up. Till then, go watch Blue Beetle or From Dusk Till Dawn. Please. Respectfully.
Okay, warning, this post is going to be really mean. If you don't want to hear anything really mean, I suggest that you scroll away from this one.
Where's the fucking Latino extras? Come on, Ryan, you're so good at putting Latinos in your movie. What the fuck happened here? You don't put Latinos in the movie, and you steal from the biggest Latino vampire movie? Come on, man, that's a bad...
In summation, this dickhead is trying to say that Sinners, the vampire movie that Ryan Coogler just dropped, is a knockoff of a Latino vampire movie, To Dusk to Dawn. Mind you, Latino people are villainized in that movie, and Ryan Coogler did say that he was inspired by that movie and many others, and the movies are not that similar. Okay, let's start there. The main thing that I want to say is to all non-Black people, like, y'all are so fucking weird and obsessed with us, and I think like we're often so forced into being like kind and holding y'all hand through it. I'm gonna say y'all weird as shit. Nothing is stopping you from getting in the booth. You are not owed representation through us. We don't owe you that. Y'all are weird. Y'all steal our language. Y'all steal our lingo. Y'all steal the way we dress. Y'all steal the music. Y'all steal every fucking thing, and y'all still demand more. Y'all are weird. If you feel hit by that, you feel hit by that. But y'all are weird as shit. Like, that was some weirdo shit. You are, one, trying to not only knock the movie, at the same time you're asking to be in it. Like, that is a perfect analogy for how non-Black people really be on some loser shit. Y'all are weird, obsessive. I feel like we have stalkers. As Black people, we have nothing but fucking stalkers, and y'all like are never beating the allegations. And I don't know. I'm not gonna at that creator because I'm not about to, this is no bullying, no hate, or whatever you gotta say, but like, Yeah, fuck y'all for real. Get the fuck out of fucking nachos.
The Hispanic community is a bunch of hypocrites talking about they want representation in black art, black movies, when they don't even give representation to the black people in their own community. Look at Telemundo, Univision. Look at all the Robert Rodriguez movies. Where is the Afro-Latino or Afro-Mexican representation in those movies? They don't even give black people in their own communities representation, but yet they complaining about representation in black movies and black American art. It's so sad that Ryan C had to give representation to the melanated people of their community in his movie, right? That's the only representation they got on a large scale, on a large film, was through a black American man. Their own people didn't even put them on. When is the Latino Hispanic community going to create something and then put black folks on? Because the first people y'all put on, if it's not other white Latinos or white Hispanics, is white people. Let's take Dust to Dawn. You have two white men as the representation of this Mexican movie, Hispanic movie. It's sad that the Latinos and Hispanics hide the black people in their community. Just tuck them away like they're homeless.
Am I the only one that thinks it's weird and also funny that the only time non-black communities holler about representation is when the black community does something that showcases their representation and their ancestry? I saw a comment of a young lady that said that we can't even get ate up by vampires in peace. Because you got white folks walking out the movie, you got black church folk with their old Christianity bull crap, and then you got the Latinos talking about they should have been represented. Represented where? Y'all wasn't in the Delta, Mississippi in 1932. Less than 1% of y'all lived in the Delta. Now, if y'all want representation, create your own movie. Talk about your own ancestry. Because did y'all go in that booth 5 months ago and represent us? You did not. So, create your own movies and talk about your own heritage, okay?
Here's my 2 unnecessary cents on the sinners and Latino representation. Y'all need to shut down the conversation because it's unnecessary and we need to mind our business. Second of all, y'all need to be focusing on our media first, if anything, because y'all see in every telenovela, we got lighter skinned people always portraying the main character. Let's focus on that first, and then we can start talking about whatever, right? Not like it's under any of our business or anything like that, but y'all got darker skin colored Latinos always playing the servant, always playing the blunt, the joke here, you know? Maybe address our colorism in telenovelas first before y'all come loud and proud and mighty about representation, because I don't see y'all talking about that at all. Sorry, not sorry, but y'all making it our business, and no, absolutely not.
That's a bad look.
I don't think this guy liked this movie at all. I think he might be a racist.
Hello, sir. As a Mexican, I speak for all other Mexicans and Latinos. This fucking dude does not speak for any of us. This dude done embarrassed us the hell out of enough already. Like, he doesn't realize that movie From Dusk Till Dawn was not a Latino movie. It was actually based on, like, characters that were white that were fighting Aztec vampires. Yes, Ryan Coogler got inspiration from it, yes. But he also got inspiration for other vampire movies as well. So I don't know why this guy's ranting, but just letting you know, he does not speak for any of us, so but just letting you know. But yeah, that movie Sinners was a badass movie, and the ending, well, let's just say Stax and Mary did get their happy ending, but in a kind of unorthodox way. But you have a blessed one.
Look, these people be having short-term memories, especially who I'm talking about, the Latino and Hispanic community. Because look, it took a black American man and it took a black American organization to recognize the brown people in y'all community. The brown people, not the lighter shade of brown, the brown people, because y'all do a poor job at representing brown and Afro-Latino and Afro-Mexican people in your community. There's no representation at all. And this wasn't just any type of representation. This was like A1. While your own people, bro, everybody keep on putting from dusk to dawn. Robert Rodriguez, bro, he painted the white people as the savior and the Hispanic people as the villains. Y'all was the evil ones in your own movie. And I know what it is. Y'all heavy on that. Mihara La Raza and Blanquimento. I hope I said that right, but when it's all said and done, it's this whitening. When the last time y'all ever seen a Latino or Hispanic organization hand out an award to a black American? When the last time that happened? Y'all make up 20% of the population in America. Lord knows how many numbers y'all make up in Latin America. It's just totally unacceptable how y'all do the brown people and the black people in y'all community. And when it comes to the black American community, all y'all do is take. It's never reciprocated.
Simple solution. Stop including yourself in what we got going on. Find a Latino director. Make a Latino movie. He included enough of the others. To me, too much. How can a movie about slavery and vampires be anything similar to a fucking Latinx movie? Stop expecting black people to include you. Make your own movies. Why did you even go to see it? White Lotus is available. The Asian they let in, the bitch got them killed. The white Haley Steinfeld, they shouldn't have let her in. What would the Latinos in the movie have done? Call Michael B. Jordan a nick. They would have walked up to that door and said, "What's up, my nick?" And then Michael B. Jordan would have slammed that door. That's the end of the movie.
I'm not a content creator, but how come every time black people do something, man, we got to haul you motherfuckers with us? We ain't got nothing in common. We know you don't like us. We know you don't fuck with us. Why would we include you in any motherfucking thing we do? Let me ask you a question. If Ryan Coogler did a movie based off the treatment of black people in Latin communities, how do you think that movie will look? Just a question. Just a question to you, sir. You're going to pretend like you ain't seen this video because I'm so small or whatever. But the truth is you pussy, and you can't answer that goddamn question. But whenever black people do something in the media, whatever, y'all always want to be included. Like when Kendrick Lamar did the Super Bowl, you motherfuckers felt like you had to throw a couple of Latino people. Like, you don't know who the fuck was Latina in that group. If they were light-skinned, they could have been Latino. Might have had a Mexican in their blood some goddamn well, but y'all was still mad all the same. All the same, because we ain't plastered. We got a Mexican amongst us. All the while, if you go down to Mexico right now, I can count on one hand how many black people there. Y'all keep them numbers real low down there. I'm pretty sure the KKK trying to figure out how the fuck did you do that? How the fuck do you keep the black community in Mexico from growing? How does that happen? It's still a mystery to me, because as far as I know, black is the dominant gene all over the fucking planet. Yet, for some reason, you keep the Afro-Latinos in Mexico down to a small number, 2.5 million Afro-Latinos down there in Mexico. I do my Googles. 2.5 million. And you've had slaves in Mexico for as long as America had slaves, for as long as Trinidad had slaves, for as long as the Virgin Islands had slaves. You motherfuckers had slaves down there too. You had black people down there too. How come you kept them numbers so low? Answer that question for me, sir. Don't sound like they being represented down there in Mexico. It just don't feel like, it just don't feel that way to me.
So first thing is, you're upset that he didn't put Latinos in his movie, right? That's one. It's not fucking about y'all. How about that? How about we start there? It's not about y'all. It's about the black struggle during the fucking Jim Crow era in the 1930s. Okay? And if we're being historically correct about a fucking fiction film, there wasn't too many of y'all down there. Barely enough to fucking sneeze at. You're reaching. But I'm gonna continue. your goofy ass have the nerve to say that this man who came up with this movie while cooking in his kitchen with his wife because of a song that played on the radio that he was listening to, he stole something from a Latino vampire movie? The fucking movie From Dusk Till Dawn wasn't a Latino film. It was made by a white man. Just because they had Latinos in the film as leads don't mean it was a Latino film. Get your fucking facts straight before you try to come for somebody. And also, why are you even talking about anything that don't got shit to do with you? How about let's start there? Didn't a large portion of the Latino men in real life vote for a motherfucker that don't even like y'all? And you got the nerve to try to say somebody stole something from fucking... Bro. The thing that really fired me up is the fact that he said Ryan Coogler stole. He stole the idea. Last time I checked, Quentin Tarantino is a white man. He not Latino at all. So where's the Latino vampire film that you talking about, Goofy? Why does a black movie telling black stories need Latino representation? Do you motherfuckers always insert us into your mix? No, you don't. If anything, y'all don't fucking like us. I'm not gonna say all y'all. Majority of you motherfuckers don't even like us. But when we got something and it's fucking big and it's hidden, y'all come scurrying around. I know another group of people that do that stupid shit. I wonder. And also, why you trying to say a black man stole something from somebody? Being owed your flowers is cultural. AAVE if you have it. Where did that come from? So, who's stealing what? So tell me you didn't do any research without telling me. Because Ryan Coogler, the GOAT, vocally came out and said that From Dusk Till Dawn influenced his movie. He didn't steal shit, it influenced a bit of it. It's a fucking vampire movie. They all gonna have similarities. So, like I put on your post, shut your ass up and go find somebody else to play with. Fucking go.
Well, it was only a matter of time. Here come the Latinos and Hispanics. They mad they don't have representation in the Sinners movie. I don't know. Was Black Panther not enough? We got to share everything? Everything that we do for us, when it's good and it hits, it's got to include you too? We can't just be like, yeah, we want to do this big one for us. That's what?
So I'm just going to jump in here. I'm in my complaining bathroom. Yeah, people have the right to be upset by what you said. Because when people like us, I know I don't present as such, but when people like us, when other Latino people, when other Hispanic people jump into the fray, like you did with Sinners, and you say, well, we did it first, da 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 da, you are taking away from their victory. You are taking away from the fact that this is a unique perspective on a vampire movie. You literally saw a wooden shack and you said, you saw a wooden shack with vampires and people fighting to survive, and you said, oh, this is like From Dusk Till Dawn. Despite the fact that From Dusk Till Dawn could not even fucking garner the same amount of not only just world building and storytelling that Sinners does, but you're also sort of ignoring the fact that this movie in its core essence has a lot to do with how people, especially people of color, have been treated in America. This is not just some popcorn bucket eating vampire killing flick. This is a nuanced and emotional take that includes vampires. So by you jumping in here and saying, well, why weren't we included? Why weren't Latinos included when we were the first people to do this? Da 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 da. You are taking that away from other people, and you're being a fucking dick about it. So instead of just being celebratory and saying congratulations, and even in your fuck-ass apology that you're giving right here, you are choosing instead to be an asshole about it. And I don't know if this is about like rage baiting. I don't know you personally. You could be putting on a bit for this little fuck-ass camera that you got going on. But what I am going to tell you is you're a fucking disgrace to the community that you come from. Your like actions and just the way you've talked about that movie, and the fact that you made that video either rage baiting or because you genuinely believed it is fucking disgusting. And the fact that you can't even utter a simple "I'm sorry" and actually mean it instead of being a dick about it makes you fucking awful. So honestly, save it. I think it's best for you to just drop this as a topic and literally just move the fuck on. But don't sit here and act like people unnecessarily crucified you or came at you incorrectly, or like you were just the victim of a mob woke, whatever the fuck that means, mentality. You're a grown-ass fucking man and you have a platform and you do this shit to get attention. So don't start acting like all of a sudden, oh, this isn't the attention I want, this isn't the attention I want. Fuck you, bro. This movie was not about you. Unfortunately, this movie wasn't for you. It was for people that are different than us. It was for people that haven't had the same treatment. We got lucky with the fact that we got the representation we did in From Dusk Till Dawn. And even if you fucking go back and watch that movie, there were a lot of stereotypes that were like not good for us. So why you were hellbent on sort of saying that in your whole review just takes away from the rest of what you had to say. Honestly, fuck you, dog.
I know y'all did not get on this here app and complain about Ryan Coogler not putting more Latino representation in a movie about 1930s Mississippi. When the last time I feel like I seen real Afro-Latino and Latino representation was in a Disney cartoon animated movie called Encanto. You know what? I'm sorry. Encanto. That is the first movie or animated movie where I have truly seen a dark-skinned, curly-haired Latino. Because guess what? Afro-Latinos exist. As much as y'all try to deny y'all blackness, we exist. But y'all want to cry about representation in a time where y'all wasn't in Mississippi. Like I said, I could have seen if the movie was in Texas, I would have gave y'all some leeway because Texas was Mexico before it was colonized. See, the difference between y'all and us, we know our history. Especially our history in the US of A. Open a fucking book before you start complaining and crying about stupid shit.
You just have to say, recognize when the moment is not about you, and when other people are celebrating a huge victory and moment. I have the flu right now, and I think I got it because
Racist.
We didn't say that. You did. But we agree. A very quick Google search would have told you that Ryan Coogler has acknowledged the influence From Dusk Till Dawn had on sinners. So to insinuate that a black man stole an idea he created on his own and credited the several inspirations for is crazy. But since you want to act like this is about representation, let's talk about it. There more than likely wasn't any representation of Mexican Americans in Clarksdale, Mississippi in 1932 when the movie takes place, because by that time, due to the laws in that region, they were gone. The Great Migration for African Americans started around 1910. What happens around the same time? The Mexican Revolution. The mass migration of African Americans out of the South made previous slave owners with big crops nervous. And it's because of this they started recruiting Mexican labor. As you could imagine, word of opportunity and the potential freedom from violent conflict caused people to move quickly. Mexican Americans flocked to previously slave, heavily dependent states, specifically Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. Mexican immigration to Mississippi peaked in 1925. And by 1926, the very next year, local white Mississippians started making laws against them. The most notable ones being laws that kept Mexican children out of white schools. Jim Crow didn't just move out of the way because it was a new minority group. I'm talking restrictions. Life was hard. And at the same time, the Great Depression is looming. The worth and the amount that could be earned from the crops that they came there to cultivate and share crop is dropping. From 1929 to 1931, some crops dropped to a third of their previous value. This left many black and brown farmers alike unable to pay back the debts they incurred in the predatory system that was sharecropping, and left many Mexican Americans destitute, abandoned, and forced to go home, most of which either returned to Mexico or settled in places in Texas. Smaller groups of Mexican laborers would return to Mississippi during harvest seasons, all the way up through the 1940s for seasonal work, but besides that, the numbers never recovered. To this day, the Hispanic and Latino population of Clarksdale, Mississippi, where the movie is set, is less than 2.7%.
And I saw that tamale store you put in the movie. Where's the fucking Latino extras?
The tamale store was a beautiful detail that further indicated he studied a lot for this movie, as it's believed that tamales were brought into the Black American Southern culture during that time period by these Mexican immigrants. And it was placed on the African American side of the shopping center, which implies that we were the consumers.
Tomorrow we're going to be talking about how the vampires in the movie Sinners don't make any fucking sense.
What are you mad for, really? Historical accuracy that doesn't disrupt the plot is not enough, but potentially nonsensical, mythical beings is where you draw the line.
We are owed our flowers.
I 100% agree that we all need and deserve more representation in mainstream media. You can't rage bait your way into that, though.
First and foremost, the movie that man is referencing had an all-white cast. Like, the leads in that movie was white. Latinos were depicted as the villain. Second of all, Ryan Coogler literally had y'all in Black Panther 2 heavily represented. Third of all, when do y'all represent us in y'all's movies? And in y'all's, I ain't never seen no black people in a telenovela. Like, enough is enough, okay? Nobody owes you anything. You have to work and put the work in and strive and create a lane for yourself the same as everybody else. It's the entitlement for me, especially when a lot of these, but not all, but some of these people are very anti-black. They don't really bang with us in the real way, only when it's beneficial or when they need something or when they're asking for something. That's the only time they will act like we have some type of alliance going on. And enough is enough. Like, you're not entitled to be included in every single work of art or every single production that a black person puts together. That's not how this works. And you was just praising him. You was just praising him for having representation. So which one is it? You feel like you're supposed to be included every single time? That's because y'all so used to getting invited to the cookout that now you don't even see it as an opportunity. You don't even see it as something to be appreciated. You think that it's a right. You do not reserve the right to be included in everything that black people got going on. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. Oh, and I have to add that Sinners was an amazing movie, 10s across the board. I will come and give a review sooner than later. I don't know who needs to hear this and how many times I need to say it, but I just want to let you guys know that when black people make something, they make a film or a TV show, and Latinos come out and say, well, what about when will Latinos get a turn? When will Latinos get a turn? That it's inherently racist, and especially because it plays into the erasure of Afro-Latinos. Black Latinos do exist. They really do. And most of us only find our representation in black films because Latinos won't allow anyone darker than a sheet of printer paper to star in any of their Latino stuff. Let someone who looks like Karol G be the face of Latin America and then fuss and whine when black people make their own shit. You fuss and whine about representation and wanting Latino representation, and then when a black Latino like Jarrell Jerome's wins an Emmy, right? And then you whine about how no Latinos win Emmys, and everyone's like, well, what about Jarrell Jerome? And then you go, well, not a black one. We obviously didn't mean a black one. And ironically enough, it's really funny because in Sinners, I kept thinking, hey, the number one problem here in this film is that the black people were too understanding, too compassionate, and too welcoming to strangers, right? They should have never let Haley Steinfeld's ass in there. And they let her in there out of the good graces of trying to show someone compassion, even though white people had never shown them compassion in return. And you are literally doing that right now, asking and demanding that black people be open and compassionate and share their spaces and their stages with you, even though when the foot is on the other side and you're making a Latino anything, you don't invite black people. You don't make sure, oh, let's make sure that we have black people representation. You don't do that. 50 movies starring all white people come out a year, and it's quiet, and it's not until black people do something that all of a sudden Latinos want something too. How dare the black people do it and not give it to us first? You don't care, and you don't dare to ask the white man for shit, but you sure will demand something from the black people.
If you watched the movie, what were your thoughts? Do you think they deserve to be in there? And is it a must with this whole representation thing that even in a culture or in a space where you are physically, like, you are not part of the events, right? You still want to be represented. I feel like the level of entitlement these people have over the success of black people, to one extent, they want to claim, you know, like the victories, the results of the efforts and the hard work of a black man. Yeah. The audacity be audacity. That's the truth. And I just don't understand it. Like, I love one of the people that responded that be like, what is wrong with us Latinos? And I feel like this community has really been on the nerves of black people. Where are the black people at? How comes black people are not coming to help us, right? And yet, these are the same people that voted against their own selves, right? The cause been coming out of their own house calling ICE on their own people. Voted for Trump and they're like, oh, you know, he's only dealing with the bad ones until when? He had to go through the good ones to get the bad ones, right? And now it is coming to the movie. Efforts of black people showcasing black excellence, showcasing like the culture and everything, and then they feel entitled to come and have a seat on this table. There are some spaces where you're not welcome, and it is not because they hate you. It's not because they are racists, but it's because in the conversation you cannot fit. And oh, should we ask ourselves how many black people are casted in their movies, when even in their own community some of them are already calling out the anti-blackness, like the anti-melanin that is in there. They only represent, you know, palm-colored looking like people, right? And you have the nerves to come and call out someone that even equally represented you in other movies that are clearly black people related movies, right? I feel like some people are just jealous, especially when they see a black person shining. They want to make sure that they jump in there to ruin it. For you to want to, you know, steal the spotlight. And I think that happens a lot. Yeah, a lot of different groups of people just be wanting to steal other people's, like black people's spotlight. They want to be taking the stage and taking all the glory and honor. But I think I'm so glad that people called it out. They saw it and easily put it to a stop. And this guy came out to apologize, and it's like, oh, you know, why is it always that when they get caught, this is when they come to apologize, right? If they don't get caught, they don't apologize. But when once they get caught like this, yeah, an apology comes out. But I mean, this community really needs to focus on itself and the chaos that they have created for themselves, because clearly there's quite a lot going on. There's quite a lot to handle and deal with, right? And I think this is not a time to sabotage what is going on for black people. Black people decided, and they're saying, we are focusing on ourselves, right? not in a bad spirit. We focused on all of you, voted for you, and did everything we could do to help you. You didn't see that, right? Let us focus on ourselves. And that hurts them so much. But I completely understand. Because I mean, all along, they were used to being given attention while black people ignored their own, right? While black people just saw everybody else benefiting off their energies. And now they're like, you know what? It's time to focus on us. And they're like, oh my God, we are out of space. Nobody thinks of us. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this whole entire discourse. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I highly appreciate it if you do. I think for me, for today, that's it. But were they entitled to have a seat on the table?